All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. No video yesterday. Sorry about that. We had a pretty massive snowstorm here, and first day back to work after a long vacation, so just ran out of time to get a video out. Did put some plays out in the Discord. We went 5-2 on NBA plays, so good day there. Recap from before NFL, we absolutely crushed it. We went 6-1. I think NBA we went 2-3, something like that. So pretty good Sunday overall. But let's talk about these NBA games today, and I will give you my 10 best bets. Yes, I love this card. 10 best bets today. But before we do that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You can join the Discord. Link is down below. Absolutely free. Restarting the ladder challenge today. So if you want to get in on day one, just click the link below and jump in. Great community that we're building there. All right, first game. Phoenix Suns and the Charlotte Hornets. Suns got the win last night versus the Embiidless 76ers. Seeing a -4.5. This seems ridiculously low in my opinion against the Charlotte team. So give me Phoenix -4.5. I like the under 221.5 as a soft lean, but Phoenix -4.5 feels a bit like a gift today. All right, Houston Rockets and the Washington Wizards. We'll see a big spread of -11.5. Don't think I trust Washington enough in this one. Definitely has some massive blowout potential. What I do like is the under 225.5. Houston does play good D, and Washington can be a little erratic with their shooting. They've got some injury issues that we've got to talk about here. So if we're looking at who's potentially out today, it was a nice little lengthy list here. So we've got Carrington's a game time decision, Koulibaly's a game time decision, Jordan Poole's a game time decision, and then you've got the guys who have been out. So you've got Bagley, you got Sadiq Bey, and Brogdon. So don't love it today with the injuries and things like that. I mean, if I had to choose a spread, I'm definitely picking Rockets -11.5. But I like the under 225.5. All right, Lakers and the Mavericks. I'm not sure if Kyrie's going to be back today. Still technically listed as out, but sometimes that doesn't get updated in the morning. So we may not have Kyrie. Definitely don't have Luka. Seeing a spread of 6.5 against a Lakers team that I frankly don't trust. But that said, I don't like the way this Dallas team looks without Luka. So what I do like is the under 219.5 in this contest. That is where I stand there. I think it's worth a sprinkle on Dallas money line at +235. There's just too much value there against a Lakers team that sometimes on the road just doesn't seem like they give a damn. So, and you've always got the LeBron and AD are always game time decisions with age issues. Nothing else other than that. Gaffer's not going to be playing for sure. I know he was out last night, so not going to be playing tonight. I would safe to assume. So you could look something for Lively, maybe his rebound, something like that. Lakers are, AD's pretty soft against centers, so it could be a good night for Lively. Grimes has been hitting his rebounds and assists, so I think the line was 6.5. It was just a little too juiced for the card, but it's a nice little dance partner to something. I like that for sure. Let's see, Timberwolves and the Pelicans. I don't know if this game's going to be good or not. We see 5.5. 5.5 for a Pelicans team. I guess because it's at home, but it seems kind of crazy. It almost makes me want to take the Pelicans +5.5 because I feel like this line should be closer to 8.5, frankly. But hard for me to get away from that. So it's just kind of a red flag in my opinion. I do like the under 220.5 in this game. Let's see, Hawks and the Jazz. I mean, this is just no defense central right here. But maybe without Trae Young tonight, definitely going to be without Jalen Johnson. That is a big impact. Jalen Johnson is a big feeder for Trae Young assist. I mean, he scores a lot of points. He gets a lot of boards. He is a reminds me of Josh Hart. It's very like Josh Hart-like for the Knicks. Give me the Jazz +6.5. Could be without Trae. I think lock in the value right now. I wouldn't even be opposed to locking in money line, to be honest. The Jazz have been playing pretty damn well. Now, my issue for the Jazz is probably not going to have John Collins tonight, not going to have Clarkson. Keontae George is going to be out. So they have some issues on their end. Could look at Colin Sexton. He's been crushing it on the points line. It's just going up to a little bit to where I'm not overly comfortable playing that. So I'm going to pass on that, but I do like some rebounds. I like my boy Kessler to grab some boards. That line is going up and up and up. It's 12.5 at minus 105, but I love it, and I'll tell you why once we get to the picks. All right, Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets. Game of the night. Too bad it's on at 10 o'clock Eastern. A little rough for us, folks. Boston minus 5.5 against Denver. Boston just lost the last game against OKC. They were dominating, frankly. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a pretty easy win. And then about 7 minutes left in the fourth, and it's like they just ran out of gas. Crazy. And they ended up getting smoked. But that's the fourth quarter in the NBA, if you haven't noticed. It gets a little wild lately. Give me the Boston Celtics minus 5.5. Very loose lean. I think that's a tight line. Maybe do some type of money line play with them and maybe the T-Wolves. Kind of combine those two. I don't mind that. 235, kind of a high over-under in this game, but probably going to end up going over that, but not a line I want to touch. All right, last game, Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors. Miami Heat coming off a double overtime loss against the Kings last night, where the entire starting lineup played 40-plus minutes. So what are they going to look like tonight? I don't know. Good news is they didn't have to travel very far, so that definitely aids them. But I think we're seeing it reflected in the total here, plus 9.5. I don't love them tonight. I mean, I would probably say over 217.5. I think we're going to see a pretty tired Miami Heat. I think Golden State's going to be able to score. So you could go over 217.5. I don't mind Golden State over team total. I think that's a good play. I just don't trust them after last night. And then they've got a myriad of issues personnel-wise with the whole Jimmy Butler thing. So that is where I'm at with those. Let's get into the best bets and get you guys on your way. Starting off the day here, we're going to go Najee Marshall for the Mavericks, under 3.5 assists. He's under this in 9 of his last 10 games. Just a great hit rate here. You can find that at minus 121 on Caesars. Next one's going to be Steph Curry over 5.5 assists, minus 133 on Caesars. He is over this in 8 of his last 10 games. He's been dominating on the assist side. Miami is 25th in assists allowed to the point guard position. Next one's going to be Miles Bridges over 6.5 rebounds. He's over this in 8 of his last 10. He's averaging 13 rebound chances in those last 10 games, so really don't need an insane conversion rate here to hit this, so I love that. Fred VanVleet, under 29.5 PRAs. He's under this in 7 of his last 10 games. 4 of the last 12 point guards that have played Washington have gone under their PRA line. Many of those are way better than Fred VanVleet. So I love me some FVV fading. All right, DeJounte Murray under 18.5 points. I'm not real sure why this line keeps staying this high. I've been veering away from betting this, but it's too much. He's under this in 8 of his last 10 games. He's under it in 6 straight games. Minnesota allows the 8th fewest points to the point guard position. This line doesn't make sense to me. It should be 16.5. Jamal Murray over 3.5 rebounds. He's over this in 7 straight, 8 of his last 10. Boston 25th in rebounds allowed to the point guard position. So a good spot here. 3.5 is pretty low line, but we see that because he's got Russell Westbrook in the lineup. Westbrook's number is 5.5. I just don't want to go that high with him. Next one, we're staying in the Denver game. Give me the Joker over 11.5 boards. It's big games. In big games, the Joker just shows up. Crappy teams, he just kind of does his own thing and doesn't get boards. But I think he will today. He's over this in 6 of his last 10. He's over this in 3 straight versus Boston. He's had 12, 12, 12. So a little tight, but he's at home. I think he gets probably 12, 13 boards. All right, next one's going to be Dillon Brooks. And over 4.5 rebounds. He's only over this in 6 of his last 10, but he's over this in 2 of 3 versus Washington. The reason why I love this is more just the rebound chances. Over the last 10 games, he's been averaging 9 rebound chances. So I do think against a Wizards team that doesn't usually come out shooting the hottest, he could pick up 2 or 3 boards really early on here. And then we just kind of have to hold on and hope he gets the other 2 before the blowout happens, which is a high probability. And the next one, Clint Capella. We haven't gone to Clint. We've been playing Clint's unders, but I think it's time we start looking at his over. He's only over this in 6 of his last 10. That said, Utah 28th in rebounds allowed to the center position. And more importantly, no Jalen Johnson to pick off a ton of rebounds off of him. It's more going to be Dyson Daniels, Rishasher, however you say his name. Those two guys are going to pluck some boards, but I like Clint to get over a 9.5. A little risky, but it is what it is. And then last pick here, Walker Kessler over 12.5 rebounds. He's over this in 3 of his last 4. Now, the reason why I like this is when we look at the last 3 centers to play Atlanta, it was the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Nuggets. Zubac had 18 boards. AD had 19 boards. And Joker had 17. So the last 3 centers have been absolutely dominating. And it kind of ties into Jalen Johnson being out as well. So I do think that opens up the door for a ton of rebound chances. And Kessler has just been on an absolute tear getting boards. No John Collins, so he's not going to have him to pick him off. Lauri Markkanen's not exactly a rebound machine. Line's at 6.5, favored to go under. I just don't see anybody else coming in and swiping a ton of boards from him. So really good spot there. But again, these plays are in order of confidence. So there you go. Appreciate you guys tuning in on this wonderful Tuesday. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Link is down below, and I will catch you in the next video.